There's going to be a decent amount of people that are going to click onto this video and say, Mike, you're blowing this out of proportion. Zion's weight is just fine. He's going to be okay. He's not going to sustain many injuries in his career. And the thing is, I made a video very similar to this about 10 days ago. And for the most part, what I said in that video ended up coming to fruition, which is why we're making this video today, because we got an update that is a huge red flag in regards to Zion Williamson. So real quick, before we get to the content, guys, I have a couple of friends that have horrible basketball takes. As a matter of fact, some of these individuals are sending their kids to schools where they're getting really bad basketball takes from their friends, and as a result of that, I decided to make these shirts. But I'm unsure if these are ready to drop, so let me know in the comment section down below if we should drop these. Of course, make sure you leave a like, consider subscribing and turning on our notifications, and now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Originally, I wasn't really paying much attention to the Zion Williamson weight issue. I thought in the very beginning of his rookie season, this was something that was just going to be a very temporary pickup in Zion Williamson's career. He'd eventually make weight and life would go significantly easier for him. I guess I'm just used to players like LeBron James losing weight when he's been told to lose weight. Maybe I'm used to players like DeMarcus Cousins losing weight after he tore his Achilles and ACL from being an overweight, agile center. But in Zion Williamson's case, I'm very concerned because the red flags are starting to become more and more apparent, and they were already there in the past, yet they went ignored. If you guys remember, during his time with Duke, there was this one game against North Carolina where his Nike shoe literally blew out. This was a huge PR nightmare for Nike. It was something that after a while we kind of ignored and just said, wow, Zion Williamson is such an athletic beast that his shoe can't contain him, something of that sort. And then Zion Williamson got drafted, and I don't know about you guys, I was really excited to watch a player that literally was almost as hyped up as LeBron James take the summer league courts the moment he was drafted. But unfortunately, the man had a bruised knee and he couldn't participate in summer league after suffering a knee-to-knee hit. Okay, I kind of swept that under the rug as well. I didn't think that was that big of a deal either, but as time went forward, there was more sketchiness to his career. He then tore his meniscus during the NBA preseason. He was supposed to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, but that turned out to be a couple of months. Right when he was able to finally make his return against the San Antonio Spurs, that was considered to be a huge event. As time progressed forward and the NBA bubble started, which by the way, there were rumors that the NBA bubble schedule for the New Orleans Pelicans was significantly easier, just so the Pelicans had an opportunity to potentially sneak into the play-in tournament or maybe even sneak into the 8th seed. That's just a conspiracy theory, it's not even proven. So during this time, Zion Williamson had to leave the bubble for a quote-unquote family issue. And then by the time he returned to the bubble, the Pelicans were all out of sync and they had a horrible run in the bubble and they weren't even able to make a play-in tournament. Now, apparently, as time went forward, there was a NOLA.com article that came out and suggested that Zion was dealing with an injury once again, but there wasn't that much substance to it. This was the same exact article that suggested that David Griffin was playing the piano for Zion Williamson. I don't know how much stock you want to put into that article in of itself, but as time progressed forward, there was even more issues with Zion Williamson than just his injuries. An article came out from the athletic staff. This is report by Champ Charania. This is report by Joe Varden and William Gullery, suggesting that the New Orleans Pelicans are having trouble keeping Zion Williamson happy, and his family actually would like for him to play on a different team. The article literally says, but for most of this season, certain Zion Williamson family members voiced displeasure with the organization. Among the targets of their criticism was Stan Van Gundy, who they felt was too rigid and demanding as a head coach, but also with the organization, which they claimed did not live up to what they felt should be the standard for a star like Zion Williamson. And that's when you get to a point where you kind of wonder, hey, has there been another superstar recently that, I don't know, came off as a little little overweight just so he could get traded. I don't know, like James Harden. Maybe this is something that's some sort of self-sabotage, but obviously Zion's not going to admit it. He's still on a rookie scale contract. This is his third year in the NBA, and there is a way out if he signs a qualifying offer, as opposed to the potential 30 million plus annually that he could earn depending on the NBA salary cap. But that would be historic and extremely aggressive should he decide to do that. The reason we're making this video today is, apart from David Griffin potentially playing the piano for Zion, apart from his family members apparently being very frustrated with the Pelicans organization, the fact that he came out and said he wanted Lonzo Ball to come back, but then again, of course, the Pelicans didn't re-sign Lonzo Ball. We got an update a couple of weeks ago from David Griffin that said Zion Williamson actually suffered a broken foot, and this was news that broke to us literally the day of the New Orleans Pelicans media day. And we did make a video on that, but today David Griffin came out and gave an update on Zion's status, and to be honest, it's not looking good for Zion Williamson, if I'm being honest, because this update is actually probably the worst thing we could have ever heard in regards to Zion Williamson. According to Andrew Lopez, David Griffin says that Zion Williamson said surgeons reviewed scans and he is cleared for the next step. Now, there's no fixed timeline for a return to game action. The next scans will be in 2 to 2.5 weeks, so Zion will not be on the floor for the first week of games. So this is by far the worst case scenario for the Pelicans. Once again, their transcendent star is not going to be available to start the season with them. He's in his third season with the Pelicans, and they're already on their third head coach. There hasn't been a consistent supporting cast around him, apart from players like Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart. And to be honest, from a year-to-year basis, I think the team around him is getting worse. Honestly, when David Griffin came along in the very beginning, I thought he did a remarkable job assembling a team around Williamson. I felt like a complimentary scorer in Brandon Ingram, a high basketball IQ facilitator like Lonzo Ball, who was consistently getting better each and every day, was another great piece to have alongside Zion. But now it seems like the very same things that we've been saying in the past, that Zion Williamson needs to lose weight, otherwise he could potentially risk a scary career-altering injury, is starting to come to fruition. How long is it before a torn meniscus and a bruised knee and a broken foot turns into a torn Achilles or a torn ACL? And once that happens, you're probably going to lose the best part of Zion Williamson's game, that's his athleticism. But I don't know, go ahead in the comment section down below and tell me I'm blowing this out of proportion even more, because each and every time I make a video on this, what I end up saying ends up coming true. I mean, look at the recent pictures of him, man. It just doesn't look good. The guy is clearly regressing when it comes to his weight. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.